Good morning, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, and Shinrin-yoku, bringing you a space weather news update Wednesday, May 12th at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. We are in moderate geomagnetic storm KP7. There are health alerts that I will be issuing in just a few minutes. As predicted, the dual CMEs headed towards Earth have arrived on May 12th as predicted. The solar wind jumped precipitously, simultaneously with the density, simultaneously with the phi angle shift, and simultaneously with the BZ, all arriving at the same time as indicative of a coronal mass ejection, as opposed to just a plasma stream, a solar wind stream. So that arrived. The speed went up to the 450, 500 range, peaked at the 500 range. But most importantly is the massive amounts of the shift in the BZ and the phi angle now rising. And let's just see what solarham.net has to say and soak it all in before we get to the health update. Unexpected CME swept past Earth this morning at 6:43 UTC. The solar wind speed increased suddenly from 330 to 440. A geomagnetic sudden impulse of 51 nanoteslas was recorded. So far, a minor increase of KP4 happened, and now we are at KP7 because this is going to be passing through for at least 24, if not 36 hours. The BZ component of the interplanetary magnetic field has tipped sharply south following the CME passage, which opened up the door for the solar wind freely to interact with our geomagnetic field. Strong G3 storm threshold has been reached. Visible aurora is likely at mid to high latitudes. So that's good news. We have an amazing aurora forecast. I'll get to that in just a second. But here we are in the last 3 hours at KP7. What does that mean for human health? Well, it means that it's approaching a major geomagnetic storm right on the cusp. That would be up in the 8 and 9 region. But it is the highest moderate geomagnetic storm we could experience, and we should look for geomagnetic storm risks, the left side here. Heart rate fluctuations, calm down. Heart attacks and strokes of all kinds. Acute coronary syndrome, and this includes flare-ups and migraines, digestive disorders, skin conditions, including those related to STDs. Visual impairment, diminution, emotional instability, radiation risk. Anxiety, stress, emotional instability, cognitive diminution, suicide risk, mental disorder, flare-ups, radiation risk. If you're flying at high latitudes today, be aware. So we are currently in a major moderate geomagnetic storm at KP7. This could be ongoing all day at some levels between 4 and 7. Could go higher. We're watching it closely for you. As expected, the coronal mass ejections, the dual pulse from a few days ago, has arrived on Earth on May 12th, as predicted. We are currently at KP7, which means that there are health risks and warnings, and we will leave you links to the Geomagnetic Score Index and Human Health Alert right here down below. Hope you got something out of the video. We're watching space weather as it approaches. Now, an event like this could start to cause perturbations to the grid, to the internet, to satellite networks. So if you're having any funny things happening with your internet or satellites, well, there's your explanation in red. Real quick, let's go to before we finish up here, let's go to the aurora forecast. So to do that, I just want to quick come over to spaceweathernews.com because they have some of the larger aurora forecasts. And we'll just give you a quick peek at that. And if the KP goes any higher, I will update you later today, if I can. You can see the ghost magnetometer absolutely off the charts. Just a vertical red line, whatever that means, and a huge shift in nanoteslas. Here's 60 to, God knows where that spiked at, but there is your reason for probably that KP7, that huge magnetic field spike. Now, if we just scroll down here, you can see that that aurora is going to be wrapping around here tonight and be quite fantastic. Most of Antarctica, maybe some of New Zealand, are going to be picking up good aurora. But we should be looking for aurora pushing all the way down into southern Canada and the northern tier states, maybe even New England, in the next 12 hours. So that's good news for aurora watchers. Bad news for infrastructure. We're up at KP7 with just minor CMEs. This is a sign of the times, things to come. As our magnetosphere wanes, these geomagnetic effects is what I was warning about. By 2023, our magnetosphere could be 5, 10, 15% less. which pushed this up to KP8 or higher, which is definitely a boom. And there are geomagnetic health risks. On the left column here, we're at KP7. You want to look at the geomagnetic storm risks. Hope you got something out of the video. The magnetosphere wanes, the CMEs are incoming, and the KP is off the charts. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance in a dystopian world. Well, that leaves the entire public out of the fact that we're in a magnetic excursion, grand solar minimum, and the grid is at risk. We love each and every one of you. Share this video with like-minded people and be safe. That's a boom to knowledge. Click on one of the other boxes to gain more of it. And we'll see you later tonight.